evening, everybody. I want to have a short disclaimer before you move into the 2020 Leadership Award Gala. I think you're going to really enjoy this. However, my recording was done a little while ago, and you'll notice I had just had come out of surgery. So there are some blemishes on my face, I guess the best way to say it. As you can see me now, I'm fine. But I did want to put a little bit of a disclaimer on there that no CEOs were hurt in the filming of this awards gala, and I'm really thrilled that we're able to go do this. So what I'm going to ask you to do is sit back, grab a glass of adult beverage, and enjoy what I think is one of the best awards gala we've ever run. Thanks a lot now, and enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Peter Crowley.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 35th Annual Princeton-Mercer Regional Chamber of Commerce Annual Leadership Awards Gala. Without our sponsors, this gala would never be possible. So I want to take a second and thank Robert Wood Johnson, University Hospital in Hamilton, Witham, Investors Bank, Berkshire Bank, NJM Insurance, Bank of America, Capital Health, First Bank, Hill Wallach, PSE&G, Fox Rothschild, Buchanan Ingersoll and Rooney, Mercadian, Northfield Bank, Borden Perlman, Janssen, NAI Fenley, HBK, Hamilton Jewelers, and the McLean Agency. And also a special shout out to Caddis Art, who is our production and program book sponsor, without whose support this would not be here today. This is a special gala for me. I not only get to recognize 4 exceptional individuals from our region, but I also have the honor of bestowing the first 2 Princeton-Mercer Regional Chamber Lifetime Achievement Awards to 2 individuals whose untiring energy, exceptional business acumen, and support, were it not for that, we may not be here today. But it's also my last time hosting these awards as your president and CEO, but more on that later. As we begin, let me say that the Chamber and everyone in our region, individuals and businesses, continue to work together during this pandemic to help each other and make sure that we are doing everything we can to stop this pandemic. Our first award winner is leading that effort. It's my pleasure to introduce Michael Smith, the Retail District Manager for Investors Bank, to introduce our first 2020 Innovator of the Year Award. Michael?
It is my great privilege to introduce our next award honoree. This year's Innovator of the Year Award recipient is Janssen Pharmaceuticals. Representing Janssen is their lead COVID spokesperson, Dr. Rick Nettles. The Chamber's annual Innovator of the Year Award recognizes an individual or business that has been instrumental in promoting change and innovation in their respective industry. This award recognizes the diversity of the Princeton-Mercer region and celebrates the spirit of innovation and creativity that we all benefit from. It should come as no surprise that Janssen Pharmaceutical is this year's award winner. The tragedy of the COVID-19 pandemic is having a profound effect on the lives of millions of people around the world. While this crisis has brought unprecedented challenges for both people and society, we can all agree we've been humbled by the wave of inspiring new ideas developed in response to support our communities. Innovation is more important now than ever before. Janssen Pharmaceuticals is the pharmaceutical arm of Johnson & Johnson, and this year Janssen has been recognized through the Innovator of the Year Award for their work on a COVID-19 vaccination. As the world's largest healthcare company, Johnson & Johnson, alongside Janssen, is bringing to bear their best scientific minds and rigorous standards of safety to accelerate the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic with the development of the Janssen COVID-19 vaccine. As soon as the genetic sequence was released out of China, Janssen got to work. They quickly partnered with the US government to do their part in the fight against this pandemic and are currently in phase 3 clinical trials. Here to accept the Innovator of the Year Award is Dr. Rick Nettles. Dr. Nettles is Vice President of Medical Affairs, and his team worked closely with global R&D colleagues in support of research that spans both vaccines and therapeutics. He is the spokesperson for Johnson & Johnson on the company's response to the coronavirus pandemic. Rick has more than 15 years of experience in the pharmaceutical industry, and prior to joining Johnson & Johnson in 2011, he held many senior positions with Bristol Myers Squibb. Rick holds a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Notre Dame and a medical degree from Duke University, where he completed his internal medicine work before attending Johns Hopkins University for his infectious disease fellowship. During his spare time, Dr. Nettles is heavily involved with his two children coaching their sports teams and is an avid runner who has successfully completed both the Boston and New York City marathons. On behalf of the entire Princeton-Mercer Regional Chamber and the Investors Bank family, we congratulate and welcome Dr. Rick Nettles of Janssen Pharmaceuticals.
Thank you, Michael. I'm honored and humbled to be here today to represent Janssen Pharmaceutical Companies of Johnson & Johnson. I want to recognize all of those individuals at J&J who've been working on inventing this vaccine, who've scaled up the ability to manufacture it, and those individuals who've been conducting the clinical trials for the vaccine. And specifically with regard to the clinical trials, I want to thank the investigators. I want to thank the thousands of individuals around the US who've been volunteering to be part of this clinical trial. I'd also like to thank the partners that we've been working with, specifically BARDA, the US government, the FDA, the NIH. We've tried to collaborate with the best minds around the US, and we sincerely appreciate the work that we've done with our partners. Since the beginning of the pandemic, we've taken a multi-pronged approach to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic. Specifically, we've been working on developing an investigational vaccine, and we've in parallel scaled up the ability to produce large quantities of the vaccine should it be proven to be safe and effective in our clinical trials. At the same time, we've been screening to try to find antivirals or immune modulators to treat those individuals who've unfortunately become infected with the coronavirus. Our vaccine has moved forward now into phase 3 clinical trials. We're working to enroll a diverse population of somewhere between 30 and 60,000 individuals in our main phase 3 trial called Ensemble. We started that trial after we had successful interim results from our phase 1/2A trial that showed safety and immunogenicity that were consistent with us moving forward into phase 3. At J&J, safety is always our first priority, and that's why we've pledged to make this vaccine available and seek approval by the FDA only after we've shown that it is safe and effective in rigorous and large phase 3 clinical trials. We will not get ahead of the science in this instance. And I'd also like to say that it's important that we make this vaccine accessible. And so we've also committed to make the vaccine available at a not-for-profit price during the pandemic period. At J&J, we have a 130-year history of coming to the aid of local and national governments in times of crisis such as pandemic. And so with that, I'd like to say that J&J intends to do that in this instance as well. Thank you once again to the Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber. And with that, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Dr. Nettles, for the work that you and the other scientists at Janssen Pharmaceuticals are doing to accomplish and find a vaccine to help stop this pandemic. It's now my pleasure to introduce two individuals. First, Dr. Ron Cook. Ron is the Associate Dean for Graduate Programs, Professor of Entrepreneurship at the Norm Bratzy College of Business. In addition, Dr. Cook is the Director, Dean of Fellows of the Small Business Institute Association. Dr. Cook's been with us since the very beginning of these awards, and he's been recognizing and working with our Entrepreneur of the Year, which is not given by the Chamber, but is actually given through the SBA and their criteria. The interesting part of this award is the SBA winner of our Entrepreneur of the Year can go on to the National SBA Award Ceremony, and luckily 2 of our prior winners have done that and both have won. I also want to thank Brian Julikowski, who is going to be presenting this award. Brian is the Senior Vice President with Bank of America and also a member of the Chamber Board of Directors, but most of all, he's a good friend of mine. Brian.
Thank you, Peter. We're all familiar with the phrase, if you're going to talk the talk, you've got to walk the walk. Well, in the case of our honoree this evening, it's more like run the walk. Chaya Pambula fires on all cylinders. Driven to transform is the tagline of Chaya's company, PAM10, and it reflects a dual objective: to lead a strategic transformation of their clients' business processes and systems, while also transforming the lives of those in need. This latter objective is underscored in PAM10's mission statement, which concludes with an expressed commitment to improve the lives of destitute children. Chaya grew up in India and immigrated to the US in 1997. While working with BMS as Associate Director of their IT group, she chose to take the risk and follow her passion, leaving corporate America in 2005 to establish Sofkin, support organization for kids in need. Sofkin strives to transform the lives of underprivileged children, the untouchables, by providing a safe, nurturing environment. Starting with 3 children in 2005, they now support 100 children in their 5 homes in India. Chaya engages with her kids twice daily via Zoom meetings. The personal bonds they have developed have earned her the heartfelt title of mom, one she deeply cherishes. Eager to further support Sofkin, Chaya once again chose to take the risk and fuel her entrepreneurial spirit, joining forces with longtime family friend and highly accomplished IT executive Prasad Tenjurla to launch PAM10 out of Chaya's basement in 2007. Today, PAM10 has become a global leader in the IT business solutions and services industry, with offices in Princeton, New York, India, and Canada. PAM10's creativity and innovation has led them to develop several proprietary products, including BizLogo, a platform that enables clients to develop online communities and host virtual conferences, critically important in this COVID environment. PAM10 worked with each of their clients at the outset of the pandemic to develop a custom-tailored risk grid to ensure they can maintain a secure and efficient workspace, helping the business community endure the shock of this pandemic. While the PAM10 business is thriving, Chaya noticed an underrepresentation of women in the technology field, and once again prompting her to take action and establish SheTech, a nonprofit organization that encourages and empowers women in the technology field. The SheTech community is powered through partnerships and collaborations to provide mentoring, training, and internships that serve to develop a pipeline of talent that is highly skilled and job ready. PAM10 was founded with a core purpose of giving back, and the synergies between the business and their charitable outreach is yielding great results. The young girls of Sofkin are active participants in SheTech, helping them develop the life skills needed for success, as well as inspiring many to consider a career in the technology field. And 4 of the Sofkin children, now young adults, are working with PAM10, making a difference, one life at a time, from untouchable to gainful employment in the IT field. Truly a remarkable and heartwarming achievement. PAM10 has been recognized with multiple awards, including being named among the top 20 most promising web development and design solutions providers, and being included multiple times on the Inc. 500 list of fastest growing companies. While Chaya has personally been recognized as one of the best women in business from NJ Biz and being named among the 25 leading women entrepreneurs in New Jersey. In June 2016, this chamber honored Chaya with the Women of Achievement Award, and it is now my great privilege to add one more honor to her ever-expanding trophy case. Chaya, this is for you. We wish we could be together so I could hand this to you in person, but we'll have to settle for virtual. Please join me in congratulating Chaya Pamula, the 2020 Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber Entrepreneur of the Year.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, my sincere thanks to Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber for giving this award. My deep appreciation to Bank of America for the sponsorship, and to Brian Jules Cassie for his wonderful introduction. As you all know, it's not an easy journey for entrepreneur, and each one of us have our own definition for success. I would like to share the 3 core beliefs that led me to do everything that I do today. Number 1, purpose. It took me several years to know who I am and what I want to do with my life. My parents gave me and my siblings a wonderful childhood and beautiful memories that we could cherish and share with generations to come. They created momentous impression in my life and instilled supreme values that led me to believe that the limitations are created in our minds, and everything is possible only when we believe it is possible. It's only after I took the driver's seat of my life, I realized that I need to first believe in myself to fulfill the highest and truest impression of me as a human being, and also fulfill the promise that I made to my mother when she passed away during my teen years. This value led me to create Sofkin, support organization for kids in need, an organization aimed at transforming the lives of underprivileged children and women. And number 2, community. I grew up in a large family and we lived like a community, sharing many things, learning many values like responsibility, integrity, patience, respect, resilience, and being competitive and yet compassionate. These values gave me a strong foundation to realize my inner potential, to overcome any hurdle and stay focused both in my personal and professional lives. I'm thankful to my beautiful family for their support, and I would like to share this award with my business partner Prasad Tenjarla for his unwavering support and leadership, and with all our employees of PAM10 who have been for their enduring commitment and contributions to Pam10 over the years, and of course to our clients with whom we built long-lasting relationships, and they believed in what we did, and for all the referrals they gave us over the years. This concept of community being the main reason for success, that led me to create an online community and collaboration platform called BizLego. Third one is service. Martin Luther King said, "Not everybody can be famous, but everyone can be great, because greatness is determined by service." We seem to be living in a world where we are following and admiring people who are famous. Compassion takes precedence over service, and that's what makes us unforgettable and unique even after we leave this earth. This value is core to our business as we work with our clients and employees, where we believe the more good we do, the more we prosper. Because for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, and that's so true in all our lives. My passion for technology combined with the passion to empower women led me to create another nonprofit organization called SheTech, aimed at increasing the percentage of women represented in the technology field through training, mentorship, and community support. And I thank our SheTech Power team for their unwavering commitment and leadership. Over the years, I learned to do things that complement everything that I do today. Because time is precious, and we must do the right things at the right time. Pam10 supports Sofkin and SheTech, which in turn create value for Pam10. I strongly believe in the universal principle of law of attraction. Whatever product or service that we offer as a way of giving back to this world, it comes back tenfold. As Oprah Winfrey says, service and significance equals to success. That in turn leads to your brand. I wish you all success in your endeavors and keep doing the great things that you do. Thanks once again to Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber for the Entrepreneur of the Year Award and for all the great work they do in this community. Congratulations to the fellow awardees, and I wish all of you very peaceful, happy, and wonderful holidays. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, and congratulations, Chaya. I look forward to you and Pam10 being part of the National SBA Award winners, and I look forward to your success. This is the point in time in our gala where we normally take a break and have dinner. But this year we hope to be able to move beyond that, have a nice dinner later, and keep going with our awards. So it's now my pleasure to introduce Diane Grillo, Vice President of Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, Hamilton, and an individual who does so much for this region and this community. Diane will introduce our Community Leader of the Year Award. Diane?
Good evening. I am Diane Grillo, Vice President of Health Promotion and Community Outreach at RWJ Hamilton, and I am honored to have been asked by the Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber of Commerce to present our 2020 Community Leader Award of the Year to Joyce Campbell, Executive Director of the Trenton Area Soup Kitchen, fondly known by many as Task. I had the opportunity to talk at length to Joyce just the other day about her commitment to the community, and most especially the impact Task has had on all the people that they have touched over the years. As the exceptional leader she is, she talked about her team, how important it is that everyone work together towards a common goal. She talked about the importance of the work they do and about her clients who became employees, part of the family as she called them. She feels that everyone should be treated equally and fairly, and not only as employees, but as part of a family of people caring for others. We also had an opportunity to talk about community needs and the paradox between obesity and food insecurity. It truly is a paradox. She was inspirational to me in her vision to help the most vulnerable people in our community. Her work is difficult, yet important, and so rewarding and fulfilling. But as we know, to accomplish the difficult and the great, the work is often not easy. But they have achieved great outcomes over the past decades with her strong leadership. She's creative, a risk taker, and results driven. Joyce has over 20 years of experience working for nonprofits, and she truly embodies, from our perspective, a community leader. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome me in joining our Community Leader of the Year, Joyce Campbell from the Trenton Area Soup Kitchen. I'd like to give you a special commemorative gift from the Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber. Joyce, thank you again for everything that you do for this community.
Thank you, Diane, for that very kind introduction. Congratulations to all of my fellow awardees, and thank you all who are participating tonight in the Princeton Mercer Regional Leadership Awards Gala. I am truly honored to be named the Community Leader of the Year by the Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber. I've also had the great honor and privilege to serve as the Executive Director of the Trenton Area Soup Kitchen, also known as TASC, for the last 4 years. I'm proud to lead an organization whose staff, trustees, and volunteers tirelessly continue to meet our mission to feed the area's hungry and food insecure. Their dedication and determination speak to an ever-present resilience. We see it in our patrons as well. Forced into tough choices every day by their circumstances, our patrons are a constant reminder of the dogged human spirit. Each day, it's truly the resilience of those that we serve, who live amidst what some see as adversity, that moves me to keep at our mission. It gives me hope. George Shinn said, "There is no such thing as a self-made man. You will reach your goals only with the help of others." Clearly, I have had a lot of help, so this award is also for the TASC Board of Trustees, staff, volunteers, and donors. And to my incredible nonprofit colleagues who collaborate with TASC, making our community stronger, I thank you. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge my husband, Craig, who is my ever-present sounding board and shoulder to lean on, whether he likes it or not. And my father, who just turned 91 yesterday, as he and my late mother instilled in me a sense of caring and kindness, among the importance of a strength of character. And to my children, Jason and Andrea, and our grandson Wyatt, my Mr. Buster Buttons, I call him, you lift me up when I am down, and I am so grateful for all of that. There's no doubt that the last 8 months have been stressful for all of us. As a leader during this pandemic, I have primarily worried about the safety and health of our staff, as without them we would not be able to have the food prepared and get out to those who need it. Many say the true measure of a leader is taken when they are confronted with crisis, how they handle the challenge. Being able to stay calm amidst personal anxiety and a strong sense of personal responsibility is not easy for me. This award and the encouraging words from staff and board members reinforces that I might just have met this challenge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Diane, and congratulations, Joyce, for all the work you do, and you and your team at Trenton Area Soup Kitchen, serving our community, especially in these very difficult times. And it's now my pleasure to bring up Rick Coyne. Rick is a partner at Witham, Smith & Brown, now called Witham, and he's a team leader of the Princeton office. Rick is a past chairman of the Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber, and Rick will introduce our Business Leader of the Year award. Rick?
Thank you, Peter, and congratulations to all the 2020 award winners here at the Gala tonight. Firmenich is the world's largest privately owned perfume and taste company with global headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. They produce fragrances, flavors, and taste solutions for the world's most desirable brands, delighting billions of consumers every day. You experience them every day, from your coffee till when you put on that fine fragrance at night and hit the town. Matthew Ferner is the president of Firmenich North America. He began his career as a lawyer with a global firm. Spending most of his time in Asia and Europe, Matthew held several leadership positions in Firmenich. And in 2017, Matthew had the opportunity to move from China to the US to take his current position here as president. Matthew pursued an ambitious and inorganic growth strategy to expand the market coverage for Firmenich, acquiring 6 companies focusing on such aspects as differentiating products and addressing consumer preferences in fragrances, natural ingredients, and taste and nutrition. As part of his strategy, Matthew has been a fierce advocate for Firmenich's inclusive capitalism business model, which cares for communities and the planet. That's a good cause. Businesses have choices to make and can make those choices for the good of its shareholders, its communities, and the planet. There is an expectation at Firmenich, though, for its team members to help connect the dots and deliver solutions through their business processes. One example is Firmenich deploys its expertise in the area of smell to understand the molecules that cause malodor in public toilets, and to come up with breakthrough technologies to reduce odors and increase access to those public toilets. And yes, I did have to look up malodor to see what it meant. Stench or unpleasant or offensive odor. So they're taking care of business there. Early on in COVID-19 pandemic, Firmenich seized an opportunity and grabbed 100 tons of hand sanitizer to distribute out to the communities in which they operate, including New Jersey and the surrounding areas we're in now. Firmenich creates positive emotions to enhance well-being naturally. Matthew is leading this organization to the top of its industry in an impressive way. Firmenich continues to be a pillar in the community, and I am proud to present the 2020 Business Leader of the Year Award to Matthew Ferner.
Hey Rick, thank you very much. Really appreciate this opportunity to receive this award on behalf of Firmenich today. I'm really excited and humbled to be able to receive this recognition from the Chamber. Thank you very much for joining us for a few moments today. I find this more of a tribute towards Firmenich than actually myself as a leader, and I'm really excited to be able to share you a little bit about what we do at Firmenich. This year actually marks a really exciting time for us as a company. In fact, today, the day of this filming, Firmenich is celebrating 125 years of a family-run legacy when it comes to running a business responsibly. This is a big moment for us. We're a global leader when it comes to fragrance, taste, nutrition, and even beyond. And each and every single day, we actually have an impact on 4 billion consumers through our products. And that's a great opportunity, and it's a great responsibility for us to act responsibly as a business. Firmenich is really a recognized leader in what we call inclusive capitalism. What is that? It's about getting value creation and value captured pulled together, but not just for our shareholders, but actually we look at how we can also find that for our communities, for our employees, for our stakeholders such as suppliers, certainly our clients and the consumers. And we find it's a big part of our business model and how we connect those all together, so that while we are a very competitive business, a very competitive industry, we want to make sure the people we bring around the table can all win together responsibly. We take a really serious look at the challenges that we face as people, as a planet, and as a society. And we basically ask ourselves, what can we do at Firmenich to get involved and help? How can we bring our expertise in our industry to the table to be able to find some great solutions? And as a result of this, we've been noticed. We're not the largest company in the world, certainly not. We're 10,000 employees, but we've been noticed by some of the biggest companies as a result of the work that we are doing. What does this look like? Something we're really excited about is recently we were awarded the Platinum recognition level from EcoVadis. What is that? EcoVadis looks at 60,000 different companies around the globe, and we were selected in the top 1% of all companies globally that they assessed when it comes to our impact on the environment and also our social impact as well. That's something we're proud of. We're also really proud of our commitment to become a B Corp. And this is part of our journey. Our ambition is to become one of the world's most responsible companies. And B Corp helps us in that journey. What it does is it looks at our ability to look at our purpose and also profitability and balancing both of those together. Now, this award is something really special to Firmenich, and I'll tell you why. What this award is signifying to us and signaling is that we are connected with our communities. Firmenich moved to Plainsboro in about the 1950s. We opened up a manufacturing site and we're still there. And we've been a very proud member of the Plainsboro community ever since. We see it as one of our opportunities and obligations to make sure we are involved in the community. And what we've done over the last number of months, along with a lot of really great companies in the Plainsboro area, is say, what can we do in these pandemic moments to help out and support our communities? So we kind of took three approaches that I would love to share with you for just a moment. Number one is, if you recall back in April, there was a big need for hand sanitizer. And we said, this is something we can do. We can deliver on this. And so we made a pledge. We made a commitment to deliver 100 tons of hand sanitizer free of charge in the communities where we operate. We were able to benefit police departments, fire departments. We worked with hospitals. We worked with government agencies, the Postal Service, just to name some, in order to provide them that much needed hand sanitizer. Recently, we reached out and asked if we could still help, and we're looking forward to continuing those contributions where we can. We also looked at the Firmenich Charitable Foundation, which is something that I sit on, and we said, how can we reorient the foundation in this big moment of need? We decided to focus our efforts particularly on the healthcare workers, so those frontline heroes that we've talked so much about. And we're really proud that we're able to work with 40 organizations and to be able to provide them funding so that they could focus their time and efforts on those community members who were stepping up and leading big for all of us. The third area we looked at was what we call our Community Day. Community Day happens typically in October for Firmenich, and it's common for companies to get involved in the community with similar programs. What we do is we give this one day every year for our community members to see what Firmenich is all about. So we ask our employees to dedicate that day to serving in the community. What we did this year was a little bit different. We said, let's not have a community day, let's have a community month. So we turned it into a month, and we also said, what can we do to help? We noticed in society that people who did not have access to food and hygiene were at significant risk. So we decided to partner with many organizations and hundreds of our employees to be able to provide meals, food products, and hygiene products to those who were experiencing the greatest risk during that period of time as well. And really, I just want to express Firmenich's continued commitment to the Plainsboro area. We want to make sure you know that you can count on us, Firmenich, being there and supporting and being an active community member. It's incredible working for a company like Firmenich. If you look at our purpose, it's for good naturally. And that's simply because that is core to our business model. For us, doing the right thing, doing good is absolutely the natural choice. So thanks again for this recognition. We take it seriously. And I want to take just a brief moment as well, just to say a big thanks to Peter for all of your leadership over the number of years you've worked tirelessly at the Chamber. You provided vision, you provided leadership. In fact, Peter, you're actually one of the very first external leaders to Firmenich that I met when I moved here 3.5 years ago from China. And I still remember those memories fondly. So all the best to you, lots of success, health, and continued happiness for all you're going to do in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Now, for the first time in the Chamber's history, I'm honored to present 2 Lifetime Achievement Awards. These awards recognize 2 outstanding individuals without whose input, leadership, strategic thinking, ideas, and frankly their blood, sweat, and tears, possibly this Chamber would not be here today. Imagine the challenge of hiring a business director and telling them there's a high probability that there may not be enough funds in the Chamber account to pay their salary. Or receiving a call that someone wanted to donate a building to the Chamber and you had to make it happen within 24 hours. These and numerous other challenges were presented to these 2 individuals while they were leaders for the Chamber. Without these 2 individuals, the Chamber that I've had the honor to lead and grow for 12 years would not have been anything but an asterisk in a Wikipedia note. Thankfully, with their input and leadership, we have been able to write a very different history for the Princeton-Mercer Regional Chamber. First, I want to introduce Len Smith, the founding partner of Withum Smith & Brown, a leading accounting firm covering multiple states on the East Coast, and a past chairman of the Chamber and the Chamber's accounting firm. To better let you know who Len Smith is, Rick Coyne, a partner with the managing director of Withum, is here to say some words. Rick?
Thank you, Peter, and I am so pumped and honored to introduce our next award winner. Len Smith was a founding member of Withum Smith & Brown. Len, along with Fred Withum and Ivan Brown, took a risk and started a new CPA firm in March of 1974. First of all, it was a risk because it was a new venture. They didn't know what was going to happen. Second, did you hear the word I said? March? So in the middle of tax season, on March 21st in 1974, Withum Smith & Brown, a CPA firm, was formed. Now that is entrepreneurial. Len was a namesake, he was a founder, a leader, and Len was part of the fiber that created Withum Smith & Brown and its culture as it is today. I have been extremely fortunate to have worked closely for and with Len for several years. And I can tell you, Len Smith is a great guy. Len, Fred, and Ivan had a vision of a firm that values the highest quality of client service, a firm that values maintaining the most excellent technical knowledge, and a firm that values its people and culture, their well-being, and a work-life balance. And of course, a firm that values community and finding ways to volunteer and to give back. Len was a leader in the Princeton Chamber for a long, long time, and his contributions are still being felt here today. I can remember discussing with Len community service, and one of the things he had said was, don't just get on a board for the named position. Get on a board where you are interested in what you're doing, and you can make a difference. Len's leadership and efforts helped to create a vision of success here at the Princeton-Mercer Chamber. And like his leadership at Withum, he didn't do it alone. Len was integral in bringing in Peter Crowley and Lorraine Holcomb and others who had the talent to bring this chamber to where it is today. They're at the next level. The chamber followed the advice of great leaders like Len Smith and Chris Tarr, who had a vision of a chamber being a catalyst for business in the community. And they were successful. Len's commitment to the chamber, along with his integrity and his unyielding ethics and a vision of success, created the strong foundation with which the Princeton Chamber is built today. And I am honored to present to Len Smith one of tonight's Princeton-Mercer Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you, Peter, so much for this very special recognition. I am humbled to be recognized in this way. And Rick, thanks for all of those kind words. I appreciate it. Back in 1974, when I and my two partners, Fred Witham and Ivan Brown, started Witham Smith & Brown, our vision was to grow a public accounting firm dedicated to providing world-class client service, to nurture the best and brightest staff in the profession, and to wholeheartedly give back to the communities in which we serve. Since day one of our firm's inception, we've encouraged our team members to join organizations like the Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber. Doing so brings business communities together, helping build a tight network with members who support each other. And during these unparalleled times, we need this network more than ever. I first stepped foot in the Chamber of Commerce office on Nassau Street in 1976 and immediately felt connected to the people there. 1 year later, I was elected to the board of directors, and over the course of the next 30 years, I've held board, chairman of the board, and treasurer and advisor positions. And I enjoyed every minute of it, even during the most challenging times Peter mentioned. The transformation to what is now the Princeton Mercer Chamber of Commerce has been exciting to watch. I am even more excited to see my colleague and friend, Rick Coyne, take a leadership role with the Chamber. Rick has continued the legacy of Witham's involvement, upholding the Chamber's mission to serve its members with opportunities that will help them grow and succeed. Chris Starr is the co-recipient of this Lifetime Leadership Achievement Award. He and I met early on in our careers at chamber events when we were in our 20s. We cannot stress enough the importance of community involvement and being involved, especially at a younger age. You will get a lot out of it, forming connections and friendships that can last a lifetime. With that, I again thank everyone at the Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber for this prestigious honor. Thank you.
Now to the second individual. I'd like to introduce Chris Tarr, a partner with the law firm of Stevens & Lee, a prior chairman of the chamber, and our legal counsel for over 30 years. To better let you know who Chris Tarr is, Ryan Kennedy, a partner at Stevens & Lee's office in Princeton, will say a few words about Chris. Ryan?
It's been an honor for me to work with Chris over the past 6+ years at Stevens & Lee, where I'm supposed to say that Chris practices real estate law. But in reality, Chris Tarr is a counselor and advisor in the truest and broadest sense. Many attorneys have adversaries, but not Chris. His clients have friends, his colleagues have mentors, their problems have solutions, and his adversaries, well, they're lucky to have Chris Tarr to work with. A true gentleman in the sense that perhaps isn't seen much, a statesman in the profession, both in our firm and as one of the deans of the Princeton Bar Association, where he has been a trustee for many years and past president. Peter noted Chris's long service with the chamber as board member and as two-time chairperson. Chris tells me he wrote more bylaw changes than Congress writes bills. Not really sure about that one, but it's not for lack of he and Peter trying. Apart from the law and the chamber, Chris is a fixture of community service and has taught us all how to be a good citizen and a true member of the chamber community. From 35 years on the board of Eden Autism to president of the Princeton Soccer Association, from the Princeton YM and YWCA to the First Aid Squad to the Princeton Adult School. In Princeton, if you name it, he's helped run it or get it approved. There's a plaque on his office wall that calls Chris a fine citizen whose good sense and driving leadership, dedication, and constructive service have strongly supported the people and the institutions of our community. I know he's proud of that plaque, and it was given to him in 1984. He's clearly kept on that track for a good number of years, and notwithstanding this incredibly deserving honor, shows no sign of stopping. Chris, from your colleagues at Stevens and Lee, a heartfelt congratulations.
Thank you, Peter, very much. It's appreciated, but totally unnecessary. And Ryan, thank you for your kind comments as well. Lifetime Leadership Achievement Award, it puts me in mind of what one of my mentors used to say when a client would say that we'd done a good job. He said, "It's nice to get flowers while you can still smell them." So that's how I feel tonight. I'm particularly pleased to be able to share the spotlight with my good friend Len Smith. I was thinking back, I think he and I served maybe 4 presidents, Peter being the most recent, and just tens of board chairs and board members. And Peter made passing reference to the fact that things haven't always been as rosy as they are right now for the chamber. I can think of several occasions where Len would quietly say that he was going to push things around so that we could pay the rent and the payroll before the dues payments came in a month or so hence. So he really worked hard on the chamber's behalf. Pretty hard to believe now that Peter happily tells the world that we are New Jersey's second largest chamber. On occasions like this, I always like to thank the folks at Stevens and Lee who work hard while I'm out having fun. I always thank my wife Susan, who is understanding of all of that as well. In fact, this is a virtual event, and maybe the only person who thought that was a really good idea was Susan. So I thank them all for their support over the many years. I didn't want to conclude without at least a passing reference to the pandemic and the wonderful work that the Chamber and the Chamber Foundation have been doing. Princeton is one of those places. This Central Jersey community is a place where we've all chipped in. There have been millions of dollars contributed to help others in need. The university's done its part, the Chamber Foundation. I particularly want to give kudos to one of our past chairs, Bob Hillier, who quite literally rolled up the front of his architectural studio and allowed the space to be used by a nonprofit to give out food to those in that neighborhood who were in need. So to me, individual steps like that are worthy of a particular thank you. Congratulations to Joyce and to Chaya and to Matthew and to Janssen Pharmaceutica for their well-deserved awards. As I finish, I've on a number of occasions, I've looked back at some words written by Robert Goheen, who was long ago the president of Princeton University. And in speaking about the Central Jersey area, he said, "In Princeton, there is much that makes for a life that is both pleasant and of public benefit." I've often thought about that. We have the opportunity here in Central New Jersey to live lives which are pleasant and of public benefit. I urge Brenda and the board, Hal English and as the new president, as a group to make sure that the Chamber and the Chamber's Foundation cause others to live lives which are pleasant and of public benefit. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Len and Chris, for everything that you have done for this chamber. Our members, our business community, and our region all appreciate it. Well, we are almost at the end of my last Chamber Awards Gala, so I ask you to bear with me for a few more minutes as I try to keep it all together. My journey leading the Chamber for the past 12 years has been nothing short of life-changing. When I was honored in January of 2009 to be given the chance to lead the Chamber, I was frankly not quite sure what to do or what to handle with two chambers. So I came in with a vision, and the vision was to make the Princeton Regional Chamber at that time the most important chamber for our members. And we started first off by calling our members clients. We didn't treat our members as members, they were clients. They were people that we knew we had to satisfy for us to become successful. That vision included a great staff, and I've been so proud to have worked with so many amazing people over my 12 years. They have been supportive, they've been caring, and they've been the leadership of this chamber organization for all those years. I may be the one that gets up once in a while and talks, but they're the ones that make the engines roll on time. Oh, you're getting emotional. They're the ones that make it happen every single day. Without the staff, I could never have achieved, we could never have achieved what we achieved with this chamber. The people that we've worked with, you, our members, our clients, I am the most appreciative toward. Because you've supported us, you've supported me, you've been there when we need you, you've been there in the good times and the bad times, and we're looking forward to working with you going forward forever. But I also want to take a second and thank the board. No chamber organization is successful without the leadership of the board. And the strategic vision they've had over 12 years and been numerous board members to allow me to drive home the vision, to drive home the ability to work with all of you has been exceptional. I've been blessed with 7 chamber chairpeople who have been not only supportive of me, but have been mentors to me, have helped me get through some bad times, and have nudged me when I'm going off the wrong track. I appreciate all that they've done, and I want to thank them all. Family is really important, and I've got to be honest, my family has been unbelievably supportive. My wife, my kids, they pick on me, they keep me validated, they tell me what I'm doing wrong all the time, and I really appreciate them. Without that support at home, because this is not a 9-to-5 job, as many of you know. It's a job that requires early mornings as we put out signs for our breakfast events. It requires evenings when we're putting out signs at night when you can't see them too much for our evening events. For the chamber conferences, for all the things that we've done, the support of my family has been great, and I really appreciate that with my wife Pat, my sons Richard and Michael, and all my grandkids. I want to thank you, I want to thank them for letting me lead this remarkable organization for those past 12 years. Thank you for your insight, thank you for your support, and especially thank you for your friendship. Something I will never forget. Thank you for attending our 35th annual Chamber Leadership Award Gala. And please stay safe and healthy over the upcoming holidays. Thank you all, and good evening. Night now.